Welcome, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to you all on what promises to be a fellowship day both full of celebration and enriching discussion. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate all our new fellows who will be officially welcomed to our Learned Society later today. Your contributions to a range of fields of endeavour open to us as veterinary surgeons are outstanding, and I'm excited to see how we can all work together over the coming years as we continue to advance veterinary science and promote scientific excellence. I would also like to say a huge congratulations to all our fellows of the future who are also in attendance today. It is really promising to see that I can turn a page. The groundbreaking impact that student vets and recent graduates are already having on the profession. And I'm sure I'm not alone in saying I'm very much looking forward to hearing all about your research, both in the presentations and in the competition, but also chatting to you in the breaks about your poster displays. And I would urge everyone to have a look at the terrific work on the boards and talk to our students. Today is as much about networking and making new friends and acquaintances as it is about celebration and discussion. So please do take the opportunity to strike up a conversation with someone new. You never know what you might learn. So new fellows and future fellows alike, you're all amazing and should be so proud of what you've achieved. You have a key role in forming the future of our profession and continuing to drive it forward. Both within and outside of the fellowship, we all have an active role to play in helping to face up to and address the challenges that life throws our way, both as veterinary professionals and global citizens. And I know that everyone here will make our new fellows and future fellows feel welcome. Now, the day that I was welcomed to RCVS Fellowship was back in 2022, and that was a real highlight in my career. Then, this time last year, I was delighted to attend Fellowship Day once again, having recently been elected as Vice Chair of the Fellowship Board. Now, who would have guessed that now, just 1 year on, I'd be standing here speaking to you as Chair of the Fellowship Board? Now, if you were cynical, you might even think it was a combination of some evil plan. However, I must admit, before putting myself forward for the position, I did have a little niggle. Was I really what I wanted to see as chair? But any niggles I had were soon overridden by my grounding belief that we must all try to be enablers where we can, and that we must all try to be part of the change that we want to see. And I want to be an enabler within our board and lead the RCVS Fellowship to a more progressive future. And diversity allows us to develop in such a more positive way. It allows us to expand our knowledge and broaden our horizons. And we need diversity to thrive. And I want to show people that no matter who you are, your voice, opinions and contributions are of vital importance to the future of our profession. And where we embrace diversity, we must also embrace collaboration in all aspects of our lives and work. Nothing great. Sorry, I beg your pardon, I think there's a page missing. So we are looking for the potential of the fellowship to reach wide areas of society, both in the UK and abroad. Now, in actual fact, this page isn't actually mine. I beg your pardon. I know that you're not supposed to apologise during speeches, but I'm going to apologise because this is someone else's speech. Oh dear. Do you know, and I was going to try and fake it there, to be honest.
You share this one because it's stapled.
Okay, thanks. Stapled is good. So the thing is to try and embrace all of our advances, and stapling is certainly one of them. So nothing great ever happened from anyone working in silos. We must strive to see the world as a whole and not just from our own limited perspectives. Embracing diversity and collaboration opens us up to new opportunities and allows us to continue to grow and evolve. As Chair, I'm now delighted to be welcoming Professor James Wood to the new fellowship as Board Vice Chair. And James's impressive credentials and experience will be tremendous assets as we work with our board, fellows and the college to forge a valuable and positive future for the Learning Society that is the RCVS Fellowship. I had the privilege of working with James on RCVS Council, and I know he will contribute to our work very strongly in a thoughtful, strategic and compassionate way. The election for Vice Chair took place earlier this year and made a higher voter turnout from fellows than in the past. And I hope this is something that we can continue to build on, as engagement is essential for functioning of an active fellowship. And I'd also like to thank Ian Battersby, Rachel Dean and Aoife Reid, who also put themselves forward for the position and allowed us to have such a great election. You were all extremely strong candidates, and it's truly fantastic to have you all as part of the fellowship. Now, in 1876, when fellowship first came to fruition, it was really mainly to celebrate the spiffing and the splendid, of which I'm neither. And I think there's still sometimes that feeling that in order to be a fellow, you need to be superior in some way or form, which is a stereotype that we're trying hard to overcome. And I think we're getting there slowly, but we still have some way to go. We as a learned society understand that it's not about us and them, but about uniting our wonderful profession and using the best of our skills and knowledge to continue driving it forward within a wide-ranging and positive network. So we must continue to try hard to reflect that to the rest of the profession and beyond. And in order to do that, as previously mentioned, collaboration is a key. Are all of our fellows impressive veterinary surgeons in their own field? Yes, of course they are. They're fantastic. But in order to create a fellowship which creates long-term meaningful change, we too must continue to change and evolve and override any potential detrimental stereotypes. Fellowship is not just a recognition of achievements. It's an active role in which we take on the responsibility of contributing to the future of a profession. It's those active voices that are essential within our fellowship, as well as intellect and knowledge, and we need to empower people to come forward and get their voices heard. As fellows, we have a dual role in which we need to use our knowledge to actively help advance the profession through learning and thought, both clinically and scientifically, in order to benefit professions in our society. And today, we have some fantastic discussions ahead of us on some really important current issues. For our keynote speaker, we're delighted to be welcoming Peter Cairns, Executive Director of Scotland The Big Picture, a charity that makes rewilding happen across Scotland in response to the growing climate and biodiversity crises. We also have our two panel sessions, one on preparedness for disease outbreak and another on the critical role of veterinary professionals in emergencies and disasters. Each of these sessions speaks widely to our role as professionals and the active role we have to play in the One Health sphere. The challenges we currently face as a collective society are all interconnected, and we should work together with people both within and without the veterinary world to address these ever more pressing issues. And I hope, as a fellowship, by contributing to knowledge and opinion in the veterinary field and beyond, we can be part of our society by creating good actions out of aspirations and goals. We can sit around and talk all day long about issues we currently face, but it's what we then decide to do with the outcomes of those discussions which is key. And I hope in my role as chair I can bring this active mindset and make change happen. And I want to make the fellowship fully inclusive, embrace diversity, and also really look forward to bringing general practitioners into our learned society. A few years ago, there were some misconceptions that general practitioners weren't particularly welcome in the fellowship, which perhaps historically might have been a thing, has not been the case for many years. With our multiple entry routes into fellowship, it's now more accessible than ever. And it's important that we recognise that those valuable contributions come in many different forms. We're always looking for general practitioners to apply for fellowship and always seeking fellows willing to mentor folk considering applying for fellowship. So please, if you know of anyone who you think would make a fantastic fellow, encourage them to apply next year. Or if you know someone who may have previously considered putting themselves forward but have since decided not to bother for whatever reason, give them a wee nudge in the right direction. This year we have an equal number of men and women joining the fellowship, and we need to continue to move towards creating a fellowship which is fully representative of our profession. But that starts with us. We all have a role to play in creating the fellowship we want to see and be a conscious part of that every single day. So I would now like to hand over to our RCVS President, Linda Belton, who supported me so kindly with the staples, and she will give our President's address. Thank you, Linda.